My money gets locked up and I lose control. Is that true?
Money gets locked up and lose control. No. So yeah, just to put some stuff out there first, right? Like there is a big annuity world. And we are life insurance agents at our core, at our heart, at our past. And I've always said, if you're looking on YouTube with the show, life insurance is this big space, right? And we've always focused on this little niche market. And we became experts at that. And as we've transitioned into this annuity space and the retirement space, we are focused in on a different and a smaller market. And it's very similar to the final expense space. There are a lot of guarantees when it comes to the world we are going to live in. So we are not financial advisors. We are not certified planners that are here to tell you about your taxes or about your, investments. We are not certified investors, but we do love guarantees. And we are simple people that can speak to the facts and the simplicity of a fixed annuity world. So that is a preliminary statement to today's call, because I think that is a lot of what gives us the security and the factuals of the myths that a lot of people have about the annuity world. So no, and in the annuity world, money getting locked up, there are things that can unlock your money based on life events, liquidity bonuses and features that you can attach to your annuity. And there are a lot of different ways that you can keep that money from being locked up. And there are time frames that you can set yourself up for annuity similar to a CD that can keep those things as small and as short as 24 months. So there is something out there for everybody based on what their comfortability is and maybe what their accessibility needs to be.
And I think that's a huge point that you just said, David. Like, everyone's situation is different. And I know talking to Raina, who we had on our, I believe it was 2 episodes ago, Raina Reyes, it's based on everyone's situation, and everyone's situation is different. And that's why, going to a trained professional to help identify what your situation is and what your need is so important. So I think that's the big takeaway on the first myth. All right. Myth number 2. All right. Annuities have terrible returns.
Oh, man. Annuities have terrible returns. Well, again, like you said, there's a product out there that fits every need. And I laugh because you want to talk about a terrible return. And this is a personal story, a mistake that we have made. I personally have made. I don't know if Lindsey even knows about this, but this was a CD. A lot of people, you hear these safe short-term investments. We can do a 4-month deal, a 12-month deal. Well, we kind of just bought into the idea of a four-month annuity or a 4-month CD, and signed up for that 4-month CD thinking that the return rate was going to be this, not understanding that your return rate doesn't turn into that full percentage until that's in there for a 12-month period. So the 4-month period, you can unlock your funds, but you're not going to receive that full percentage that was advertised to us until 12 months. And if you don't elect after that first 4-month period for you to reallocate that CD the same way that it was before, they are going to give you the lowest possible interest rate of return available, which is way less than 1%. So you talk about terrible returns. savings accounts, certificates, there are a lot of things. Sure, they're guaranteed, right? Like, you know what you're going to get. And, well, if you're me, you don't, right? You didn't fully understand. But no, these short-term, multi-year guarantee products are equivalent to money market accounts, most of your certificates, if not better than your certificate options, and you keep those with short terms. And your fixed index accounts, they can rival the stock market, and I'll tell a little bit more about this or remind about this point. But I was looking at a product at one point, and the past 10 years, if your money was in the stock market in a specific index, that time frame for a 10-year period was like a 12% growth return. Where if you were into that same product in the annuity space, it was a 10% return rate, but you never lost any money. So based on what happens and what point through that 10-year time period, you could have been well below. So my point is, everybody thinks that your stock market and these other options that have no holds barred on the gains that you can make are your best options. But again, you have to look at the time, and if you land in the wrong time in that open market, and again, we deal in the death world. So again, everything's different for everybody. And we really are talking more of the retirement space as the biggest benefit of what it is that we have. You pass away at the wrong time, that can mean hundreds of thousands of dollars difference in that account because you didn't pass away at the right time, right? So terrible returns is not a myth, and the way the markets have changed and the indexes have grown, that myth gets busted.
So, all right, myth number 3: I'll lose my money if I die. Is that true as far as annuity, that you would lose your money?
No, that is not true. At least with the world we live in. And again, we're life insurance agents, so we're on the other side of that. Usually, you got to die for us to be able to give you some money. So the annuities that we work with operate the same way. Most of them come with death benefits, and if they don't come with death benefits, they've been paying you a lifetime income that's well outlived the value of what that account was ever supposed to mean to be if it was cash for cash. So no, death benefits, guaranteed payouts, and the biggest thing that I love about that is what is the value of the life insurance world. And that's that most of those things are transferring tax-free. So the tax-free transferal of those accounts is a big deal. And that's one of the conveniences within the life insurance and the fixed annuity space.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Number 4 myth: they're too expensive because of high fees. Can you bust this myth?
Can I bust this myth? The best way that I heard somebody kind of bust this myth, as you would say, is that if you are working with an investment advisor, a stockbroker that is managing your account for you, in most of those cases, you're paying out of your pocket 1 to even up to 2% of your account value to that person managing that account. That is coming right out of your bank account. That is your money that's being paid to that advisor. In the world we live in, again, it is a small world in the annuity space. The fixed index products, the multi-year guaranteed products, the simplicity, the simple annuity space. It's the insurance company that pays someone like us to sell one of those products. So you put $1 million into one of those products, you're not giving 1% of that account up to somebody that you have now allowed to manage that account for maybe the rest of your life to do so. And you're going to give that 1% and 1% and 1% and 1%. And that doesn't happen. So the fees itself, no. And most of these products now, there are no fees. There are, even with what is out there in today's world, the add-ons and the riders that you can attach to these accounts, they don't come with fees. So they may come with a percentage that you're not going to grow on if you would like that feature of the product, but never is there going to be a fee attached to your account.
Myth number 5 would be that they're too complicated. So, can you break this down, that they are too complicated as far as the annuities?
Yeah, again, and the world we live in the fixed indexed world, the world where you don't need series licenses to understand how the product may work, that's the world that we live in, and that's the space I like, because it is very simple. You're going to have participation rates that you grow within the market at a certain participation rate, or your lifetime income is going to be kicked on to off of that account value at a percentage, and you know what that is. And once that lifetime income kicks on, it's never going to be any less than that income amount. There could be free withdrawal percentages that are black and white. You can take this much out of your account. If this was to happen to you, then you could access 100% of this account. So the world we live in, it's very simple, and it can get down to as simple with those multi-year products that you can only lock into for 2 years, 24 months, and you can guarantee yourself you're going to grow at this percentage over that time frame, and then you get to reevaluate what you want to do with it again.
And if you like that clip, make sure to like and subscribe to more of our content.